And we're back with another lesson on inequations. This time we're solving negative inequations. Before it was just positive values of x. So let's get right into it. What I'd like you to do now is multiply or divide the following by -1 on both sides of the equation, or the inequality. Let's look at the first one. We've got -3 times -1 and 10 times -1. Here's the result. 3 is less than -10. For number 2, let's multiply both of these by -1 and see what happens. We've got 2 and 9. 2 is greater than 9. Lastly, let's do number 3. Minus x times -1 is simply x, and -5 times -1 is -5. X is less than -5. Look at these very carefully and ask yourself the question, do you see anything wrong with this picture? Let's see what the answer is. The inequality sign is the wrong way around. 3 is not less than -10. 2 is certainly not greater than 9. And here, it's also true. X is not less than -5. This brings us to our first part of the lesson. If you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality sign will have to be flipped. Okay? And here it is. You must flip the inequality sign after multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Otherwise, it won't be true. So the first one, this is the same example as we just had. Once we multiply by -1, we have to flip the inequality sign so it's facing the other way. X has to be greater than -5. Okay? X has to be greater than -5. Number 2, we have -14. -6x is greater than 4. Again, we just follow the rules of solving equations, ignoring the inequality. Our first step is to get our -14 on the other side. So we have to add 14 to both sides. This results in -6x is greater than 18. 4 plus 14. And finally, we have to divide out the -6. Remember though, we are dividing by a negative number. What happens to the inequality sign? You must flip the inequality sign after multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So the resulting inequality is x is now less than -3. It's not greater than anymore, now it's less than -3. Let's do question number 3. It looks suspiciously similar to question number 2. But I'm going to solve this a different way. Let's see if we get the same answer. So, this time, I'm actually going to bring the -6x to the other side. I'm going to add 6x first, okay? -6x plus 6x is nothing. So we have -14 is greater than 4 plus 6x. Now we're going to keep solving it the old-fashioned way. We're going to -4 from both sides. -14 minus 4 is -18. -18 is greater than 6x now. And lastly, we're going to divide by 6. Okay, we're going to divide by 6. Divide by 6, and our result is -3. So, look at both of these. They are equivalent statements. X is less than -3 here, and x is also less than -3 on this side. Let's move on. Okay. What I'd like you to do now is solve these, pause the video, and solve these inequalities on your own. See if you can get the answers to these ones. Okay. Now, let's see if you got the right answer. Let's look at some slightly more challenging examples. The rules will be exactly the same as when we solved with x on both sides in regular equations. So for this one, number 1, we need to get all the x's on the correct side, on the left side in this case. So we are going to minus 5x on both sides. X minus 5x is minus 4x. Minus 4x is less than 4. Then we have to divide out the minus 4. 4 divided by minus 4 is minus 1. So x must be greater than minus 1. Number 2, very similar to the previous examples we had when you have x on both sides of the equation. Now, which way should we move the x in this case? Let's add 6x to both sides. Let's add 6x to both sides. On the left, we'll be left with minus 14. And on the right, we'll have 13 plus 9x. 3x plus 6x is 9x. Now, subtract 13 on both sides. Let's see what the result is. Minus 14 minus 13 is minus 27. Minus 27 is greater than 9x on the right. The 13 disappears. Lastly, we have to divide out the 9. Minus 27 divided by 9 is minus 3. So, x is actually less than minus 3. But we like to have the x on the left side. So let's just turn this around. And we'll have x is less than minus 3. And there you have it. Let's try some exercises. Try these. Pause the video. Try these ones. And we're back. Let's see what the answers are. And there you have it. Well, now I would recommend going to MyMath to try the task that has been set. Enjoy. Bye-bye.